What happens when two powerful women meet on national television only for one of them to stand up, stare down the host, and walk out in front of millions? This wasn't just another celebrity feud. This was personal, raw, explosive, and it changed the dynamic of The View forever. Because when Jennifer Lopez sat down for what should have been a standard interview, she didn't realize she was stepping into a storm. But by the time she stood up, refusing to be silenced, the entire nation was watching. Let's rewind to that morning. The lights in the studio were blazing. Jennifer Lopez had just taken her seat, dressed elegantly, smiling politely. The producers were prepping for a smooth segment, tour dates, film promos, and a sprinkle of motherhood anecdotes. That's how these things usually go. But not today. Whoopi Goldberg, seated in her usual spot, locked eyes with Jennifer in a way that regular viewers instantly recognized. That look? It meant a confrontation was coming, the other co-hosts sensed. It too. They glanced at each other, shuffled their cue cards. No one dared to interrupt. And then, the first strike. So, Jennifer, Whoopi began, her tone calm but unmistakably pointed. Let's talk about your recent comments on working mothers in Hollywood. You said something ... interesting. Jennifer shifted slightly, controlled, graceful. I shared my experience balancing motherhood and career. I believe all women deserve support when facing those challenges. But Whoopi wasn't satisfied. She leaned in, voice sharp. You've got nannies, assistants, a full team. How do you relate to single moms working 2 jobs to survive? Silence. The studio air shifted. You could feel the tension. The audience knew they weren't getting a puff piece. They were watching a showdown. Jennifer remained calm. I've never denied my privilege. But emotional challenges don't disappear just because someone has help. Whoopi cut her off, waving her hand. You're talking about bedtime stories? On private jets? Meanwhile, there are moms who can't even afford books. It's tone deaf. And just like that, the gloves were off. Jennifer's jaw tightened. She leaned forward slightly. That's not what I said, and you know it. Never compared my struggle to someone else's. But we shouldn't disqualify someone's feelings because they're rich. It's not support. It's judgment. Whoopi's smile was thin, dangerous. So missing bedtime in your mansion is the same as missing it in a 1-bedroom apartment while cleaning offices at midnight. The other hosts were silent, frozen. The cameras stayed locked on Jennifer, waiting for her to crack, but she didn't. Instead, her voice grew stronger. All working mothers feel guilt. All of us face tough choices. You want to uplift women? Then don't decide whose pain is valid. Boom. Whoopi leaned back, eyes narrowing. You think your jet-setting problems compare to real women's lives? Jennifer's response was fire. No, I think being wealthy doesn't erase my love for my children or the guilt I feel being away from them. If that's too hard to accept, maybe you're the one out of touch. The entire studio fell still. Whoopi's eyes flashed. Excuse me. What does that say about me? Jennifer didn't blink. Says you're more interested in tearing down women who've made it than actually supporting them. For a moment, everything froze. You could almost hear the audience holding their breath. This wasn't entertainment anymore. It was war. Whoopi's voice dropped, low and menacing. Support? You want support? And start by owning your privilege. Instead of playing the victim, Jennifer's voice didn't waver. I do own it. But I won't apologize for being honest about motherhood. If that makes people uncomfortable, that's their problem, not mine. The co-host tried to intervene soft. Voices, polite suggestions. But Whoopi wasn't having it. No, let her finish. Want to hear what else she thinks she knows about me? Jennifer paused. She could have backed down, but she didn't. I grew up admiring you, Whoopi, because you were the woman who told. The truth who stood for other women. But today, you're using that same platform to shame someone for sharing her story. That's not strength. That's cruelty. The words hit hard. Whoopi's expression hardened. Your truth is whining about luxury problems. Meanwhile, women are fighting real battles. Jennifer's tone sharpened. You think love for your kids is fake because it's surrounded by wealth. You're weaponizing someone's success to invalidate their emotions. That's dangerous. And then it escalated again. Whoopi shot to her feet. How dare you say I'm out of touch? You don't know what I've sacrificed, what I've fought for. Jennifer stayed seated, steady, calm, but firm. That's exactly why I'm so disappointed, because someone who fought so hard should be the last to silence other women. The audience? Dead silent, the tension? Electric Whoopi's voice cracked. With fury, you don't get to lecture me in my studio, in my chair. Jennifer stood now, then act like the leader you claim to be. Build up women. Don't try to break them down when they speak their truth. For a second, it seemed like the argument would cool, but instead it exploded. You think I'm the villain? Whoopi snarled. You've built your image around whoever you're dating. You've changed your persona more times than I can count. Jennifer's eyes flared. That's called growth, evolution. It's called refusing to be defined by others, including people like you, people like me. Whoopi's voice rose. What do you mean by that? And that was the moment Jennifer flipped the script using Whoopi's earlier words against her. I mean people who gatekeep women's stories, who think only their struggle counts, who forgot how to listen. Whoopi laughed, cold, cutting. You're a brand. You shift with every man in your life. Don't talk to me about authenticity. Jennifer's tone dropped to steel. Bringing up my relationships, that's low. That's not a question. It's an attack. Whoopi leaned closer. You're a guest in my studio. Don't forget that. Jennifer didn't flinch. And you're a host who's forgotten what this table was built for conversation, not humiliation. The producers behind the scenes were panicking. Frantic hand signals, gestures to cut to commercial. Whoopi waved them off. This was personal now. You're so entitled, she spat. You think your celebrity gives you the right to lecture? Me. Jennifer locked eyes with her. This has nothing to do with celebrity. It's about human decency, and you've crossed the line. It was chaos now, Whoopi was shouting. Jennifer was standing tall. The other co-hosts were frozen, unable to stop it. And the audience? Silent, glued to every second. You want to talk about respect? Whoopi seethed. Respect is knowing when to shut up and listen. Jennifer didn't blink. Respect is allowing people to speak without being ridiculed. It's hearing someone's pain even when it doesn't mirror yours. And then just like that, tit reached the boiling point. Whoopi snapped. This is my show. My rules. If you don't like it, walk out. Jennifer reached for her purse, head held high. I will, because I have enough self-respect not to stay. Where I'm being attacked? Whoopi's voice cracked. Don't expect to come back? Don't come crawling when your next movie needs promoting. Jennifer paused at the studio door. Her voice was low, but it cut deep. I wouldn't come back here if you paid me. This used to be a show about supporting women. Now it's a platform for tearing them down, and then she walked. Whoopi stood frozen, eyes blazing, chest rising with fury. Security, she barked. But Jennifer didn't need security. She exited with grace, and millions of viewers would remember it that way. As the door closed behind her, Whoopi turned to the camera. Well, she said bitterly, I guess we all just saw Jennifer Lopez's true colors. But here's the thing. So did we. And what we saw wasn't a diva melting down. It was a mother, a woman, standing her ground in the face of public judgment, refusing to let anyone's celebrity or not shame her into silence. In the days that followed, clips of the exchange went viral. Fans were split. Lines were drawn. But one thing was clear. This wasn't about luxury or struggle. It was about voice. And Jennifer Lopez refused to let hers be taken from her, not even on Whoopi Goldberg's stage. So what do you think? Was Jennifer right to walk away? Or should she have stayed and continued the conversation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And make sure to subscribe for more stories that uncover the truth behind Hollywood's biggest showdowns. Because in a world where image is everything sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is walk away.